Back again.
We do this every week.
Wemby, the Spurs ended a 6-year playoff drought this season, and you now make the Western Conference Finals for the first time since 2017. I know you are soaking it all in, but what does this moment represent for you?
Man, the words conference finals just seem surreal right now. It's like something I heard my whole life, and now we're in it, and it's kind of unreal. But at the end of the day, it's just basketball. We know what we got to do.
Victor, ça va? Félicitations.
Ça va, toi? Merci.
How's my accent?
Brutal.
Pretty good.
Thank you.
Smooth,
Dirk's trying to hate, but thank you.
French-Canadian. French-Canadian.
Hey, listen, you guys are a young team. We've talked about it. You said we don't care. But how have you seen your team grow and form habits even during the playoffs? Because it feels like you just keep getting better.
Feels like everybody's taking pleasure in executing the game plan. And personally, this series was probably the most fun I had on defense, the most fun. Like, everybody was on a string. Everybody was, like, connected. And I was about to go help somebody because I know my teammate has my back. And, like, everybody just went together, you know. And that's the most fun I had on defense.
Vic, great game tonight, man. After you got ejected in Game 4, I saw you come back with a different focus, a different poise. I saw them try to get under your skin, but you wouldn't let them trick you off your spot. You stayed focused, you stayed in the moment. What did you learn from that moment? And I think that also infused your team a little bit. What did your team get from that moment as well? Because I'm a guy that don't mind you drawing the line in the sand. I know you ain't trying to hurt nobody, but I don't mind you drawing the line in the sand.
Oh, for sure. No, for sure. You know, I had to make a statement coming back. I knew, obviously, what they were going to do. I knew, of course, this was going to be a certain narrative, but I felt like if I gave in into the physicality and the dirtiness, that would have helped them. And I knew I couldn't go over the edge again, so I had to beat them by playing basketball.
By the way, Wemby, I know you said that you were looking for both mature Vic and angry Vic to show up at the same time. What does that look like when they both show up?
It's hard to make him show up. I mean, it comes out in big games naturally, but because it's hard to not fall to the dark side, or to the light side or whatever. And I would say when it shows up, it's kind of like the end of, I think it was Game 3 here, where it felt like everything was coming together for me, and I felt really smooth in both the physicality and the play.
Congrats, Vic. Great game. What did you see from your three guards, especially for this game, but for the whole series here?
I saw them overcome some heavy difficulties, heavy pressure all the time. It was a hard series. It was a tough series. And lots of responsibilities were on them because, the way they were guarding the pick and roll, they had to make a lot of decisions. And I had to execute the screens, but then the decision was on them. And you can see, Steph today, he had an amazing pass, an amazing late pass. But these guys, all three guards play way different, and they all bring something to the table when it's subbing.
Big, now that this series is over, looking ahead to Oklahoma City. I know you guys had success against them in the regular season and in the NBA Cup, but the playoffs is a whole different animal. So, what's your focus or the team's focus going into that series?
Right now, we're focusing on our body recovering and putting the Wolves series to bed. And tomorrow or in a couple of days, we're going to start worrying about the Thunder. And we know it's going to be a whole different series and totally other challenges. This is a team that knows how to play basketball. They know their stuff, and we're going to see. We're going to rewatch all their games and do the scouting and try to execute over there on Game 1.
Wemby, I know that you heard it throughout the season. Everybody talked about, lack of experience. Like Steve said, everybody said, okay, this team is ahead of schedule, yet here you are at the Western Conference Finals. And I'm curious what you have learned can sometimes matter more than having experience.
Heart matters more than anything, for sure. More than physical ability, more than size, more than experience. And I feel like lack of experience, if we don't know that it's impossible, we will do it. As simple as that.
Wemby, last thing, man. I saw Sean Sweeney going crazy when you closed out and gave up a dunk to Terrence Shannon. So tell him to relax over there. You're pretty good at defense.
Hey, we want to shoot for perfection.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like that.
I want him to keep me accountable.
I love it.
Yeah, you all are awfully, awfully close. Thank you so much for your time, Wemby. Congrats and great luck rest of the way.
Good luck.
Good luck, man.
Good luck.
Thank you, guys.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Have
Cheers,
fun.
y'all.
All right, great stuff, as always, there from Wemby. What a guy. Always a great quote. You talk about how good they are with the media. Incredible. Now, earlier tonight, Cade Cunningham and the Pistons were facing elimination on the road in Game 6 in Cleveland. They walked away with a 115-94 victory to send this series to a Game 7, which means we will see you on Sunday for a win-or-go-home showdown.
That means we're working.
All right. We are
show,
back.
baby.
Guess I ain't going to church no more. I'm going to sit church out.
Game 7 of the Eastern Conference semifinals, Cavs against the Pistons. UD here with the basketball gods. Our pregame coverage starts at 7:30
Like
Eastern.
that.
We're going to need some church watching that game.
Coming up next. All right, we saw a dominant performance from the Spurs in Game 6 of the Western Conference semis, a 139-109 win to knock out the Timberwolves and reach the Western Conference Finals. Now here's Anthony Edwards after the loss at the podium.
And just what's kind of the emotions coming out of a game where it got away from you the way that it did here?
I mean, I just tip my hat to them. It was just a better team.
I think you went down to the Spurs bench with 8 minutes to go in the game. Like, what was kind of the thought process to do it in the middle of the game there rather than kind of waiting for the end?
I mean, at that point, you know you ain't going back in, so you're just trying to get them the respect they deserve. So, yeah.
With how they handled you guys, like how much work do you guys have to do going forward here to catch up in the Western Conference and
To catch up?
and to contend again?
I don't know, man. I think I don't think that's a question for me.
And last year in the West Finals, you said OKC was kind of like on a string defensively. San Antonio looked like they had a lot of that look in this series as well. What do you guys have to do, you as leader, whatever, in the regular season to make it where you guys can be like that on the defensive end against some of this top competition?
We just got to listen to the coaches. Yeah. We had a hard time of, like, processing stuff and going out there and doing it. We try to do stuff on our own. I think that's our problem.
Do you feel like the regular season's the time to start building that stuff?
Yeah, I feel like you're supposed to build championship habits or playoff habits in the regular season. Yeah, great question. I think so, yeah.
All right, so we're going to unpack some of the things that Ant said there, but here is the moment where he said he was just giving them the respect they deserve. 8 minutes were left in the game. Your reactions to this moment?
I've watched the NBA and been a part of it for a long, long time. I've never seen this. A guy walking into the huddle with 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter and dapping up the entire team. Too much for me. Obviously, you can do that after the game and show plenty of respect. That was a little strange for me.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that. I've never seen that before. I mean, I do like what he said, that he wants to give him respect, but I think you wait and you have to take your licks at the end of the game like everybody else. I do want to say, I mean, he was definitely hobbled. Minnesota definitely hobbled. With DiVincenzo out, Io didn't look like he was full strength either, and they played hard. It was a valiant effort, but it was. I mean, he was right. San Antonio was just a better team.
Yeah. Now, you had a reaction there to what he said at the end about needing to build a team that has championship habits, playoff habits. I didn't get to hear the question he was asked, but what were you thinking when you heard that?
Well, you would think that they would have that by now. You would think that they would have that. They've been to the Western Conference Finals. You would think over the years that they've built that. I understand. I think this is Julius Randle's second year, but you would think that a team that has been there, they would have those habits. So the fact that they don't have those habits is very disappointing to me. Because once you get here, and I say this all the time, the playoffs has a way of revealing what's inside you. And I didn't like what I saw from some of the Minnesota Timberwolves. Ant was definitely hobbled. DiVincenzo was out. But some of the things I saw I didn't like. And what I will say is great as Ant is as a basketball player, there's still some growth for him as well. Because as a leader, I would not have walked down there and shook their hand. I would not have walked down there and shook their hand with 8 minutes left in the game. As a leader of my troops and my guys, I would not show that weakness. The game is not over. I got 8 minutes left. I still got smoke coming out of my ears because I'm so damn mad we losing. Let me calm down for those 8 minutes since I'm not in, and then after those 8 minutes, I'll go down there and I'll congratulate them and their coaching staff. But in the middle of the game, when I got guys that have sat the bench and cheered me on, no, I'm going to sit there and cheer those guys on. I'm going to put that energy back into those guys. And then when the game's over, I'll go over there and shake their hands. So that's just the way I handle things. I'm a little bit different. I'm a little bit old school. I understand there's a different generation, but I don't think if they were beating San Antonio, Wemby would have went down there and shook his hand with 8 minutes left. I don't think so. I damn sure know Wemby wouldn't have went down there and shook his hand.
I don't even know if that's old school.
So for me, I love Ant-Man as a basketball player. I love where he's going to be as a basketball player, but as a leader, the next few steps he needs to make are little small details and things like that, because other people on your team and those guys are always watching you and they're following you whether you know it or not.
Yeah, I mean, I watched that press conference, and obviously I am not in Ant's head. I don't know what he was thinking, but you feel like you could sense a little bit of frustration a bit. Just
anytime you hear a player say, "That's not my decision,"
yeah,
he's saying somebody got to make some moves. Do your job. Anytime you hear a player say, "That's not my decision," he basically saying, "Y'all do your job up there."
Yeah, I mean, Steve, what do you want the Timberwolves to take from how this postseason went?
I think it's important to not overreact, because I actually think they did phenomenally well. They handled Denver, okay? They lost DiVincenzo. The Sumu has been hurt most this second round, and Ant's been hobbled. So for them to get to 6 games against a phenomenal team, like, let's not throw everything out here. Let's not overreact. Now, habits. Now, were we 100% happy with those? Okay, we can improve there. Can we improve the roster? Absolutely. But you also have to look at it. This is a Western Conference that's getting to becoming a 2-horse race.
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. Like 2 extremely talented, deep teams with futures and assets and all sorts of, growth capital and potential. So you can't get too carried away, and you can't throw out the baby with the bathwater. I think they have to look at this thing this summer, see how can they meaningfully improve their roster, and then start to build those habits back up. But this is a team that's done well the last 3 years, and they did very well this year considering their injuries. They're well coached, and they have Ant. Ant is a cornerstone. He's a guy Wemby doesn't really bother Ant the way he bothers almost everybody else. So I think there's a lot of things they can build on here. They just got to make sure they're very strategic. And I don't know how much flexibility they have off the top of my head, but these are big, big decisions because it has gotten so tight at the top of the Western Conference.
I also think if you look back at the regular season means something. I thought they did great in the playoffs. They competed. They had a great first round, but they should have never fallen to whatever they fell to, like a 6 seed. To see a tough Denver and go to a long series and fight through all that with Ant hobbled. They were just, for me, a little bit too inconsistent all regular season. They lose some games. They had big leads with like a minute left, and I mean, that Phoenix game comes to mind when they were up 7 or 8 and they lose a lead like that in a minute. And they had numerous of those games. And I just think that's where it starts. They had some turnover issues, all you see. Maybe they add a point guard to get some relief for Ant. He had a lot on his plate at times. So we'll see. But I agree with Steve. They have a lot of good pieces there. And unfortunately, Julius couldn't show here in the second round. They really needed him to step up here in the second round and just didn't get enough. But they got good pieces, and we'll see what they add this summer to keep improving their roster.
Yeah, we'll see what unfolds in the offseason. Did you have something to say, PG?
Sneak one in there, PG.
I thought your point about this sort of becoming a 2-horse race is very true. But what we're seeing right now in the NBA is you can't really have weak links on the floor. Like Oklahoma City, sure, you can say, okay, you know what, they're shooting, but defensively, 1 through 5, they all guard. San Antonio, 1 through 5, they all guard. So when you think about putting a roster together, if you're Minnesota, it's like trying to figure out where exactly do you attack it, because the rest of the rosters really in the West, they are not quite there yet. So I don't know the answers to it, but it is a really interesting thought of how you go from, okay, we got this team, Rudy, and obviously the cornerstone, Rudy, a defensive-minded player, and like what little tweaks do you make? As you were saying that, I was trying to think about what the answer is, and the problem is these two teams are so good. there's not just a clear-cut answer.
And just to add some context as you all are thinking about the offseason, and to Gobert, Randall, McDaniels, Reed, all under contract next season. Io, Bones, Conley, all free agents. And of course, Dante's likely out for a lot of next season. So we'll just have to see how that unfolds there. But the Timberwolves season, it's over after a loss of the Spurs tonight. And you know the tradition here on Nightcap. We have our favorite tradition. It's time to say our official goodbye. Dirk Nowitzki.
Take him to church, Dirk.
The floor is yours.
Is it really?
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Dirk Nowitzki.